War Stories brought to you by Gary Gruner Chevrolet, Buick GMC in Madras.
1 out of every 7 Central Oregonians is a veteran. In our weekly War Stories series, we will introduce you to the story of a Central Oregon war veteran, some who made it back from their war and some who didn't. Last week, Regina Reiser shared the story of her husband of 9 months, Dale Peterson, when she was just 18. Their love at first sight and at such a young age, and how an IED took him from her at his first tour in Iraq. Now, tonight, we continue our 2-part series on how Dale's death changed the course of her own service in the military.
I was born in Boise, Idaho, August 6, 1988. We moved to Bend when I was 6 months old, I think, and I grew up here. 5 or 6, I started playing baseball with Bend Parks and Rec. When I was in middle school, I played basketball, volleyball, track, softball, traveling softball, like all sports all the time. I graduated in 2006, but I was not at my graduation because I was in boot camp. Got home from Parris Island with my mom and my sister. I was sleeping, and he came and woke me up and surprised me, and we got married the next day. And I was 17. My job was to do audits. So I had to go to all these units that were getting ready for deployment. And I had to ask Marines, who are the least serious people I've ever met in my life. I had to ask them, you know, if something happened to them, who would they want their life insurance to go to? Who would they want their body to go to? And some people would take it seriously, and some people would put they were sending their body to Ozzy Osbourne, you know. So it was an interesting job. He was in a Humvee. He was in the right rear passenger seat, and an IED went off right under his feet, and he was killed instantly. And I couldn't do that job anymore. I couldn't ask people. It wasn't funny to me anymore when someone said they were going to send their body to Ozzy Osbourne. That wasn't something to joke about to me anymore. I ended up being military police for a little bit, and then I got selected, went to K-9 school in San Antonio, Texas. And then I got a drug dog when I got back, and we were an awesome team. It was pretty cool, you know, to do all that training that you do where you hide stuff, and then all the training that you have your dogs do to refine their skills. And then they finally do it is like the best feeling ever. I was 21 years old, and I was working a dog to find drugs, and I was super young, but it was like the best job ever. 21 years old and you have that much responsibility. Pretty cool. I was just ready to move on to the next chapter of my life. You know, I felt like I joined the Marine Corps at such a young age, you know, and I was ready to not do that anymore. In all honesty, that little boy saved my life. Completely saved my life. You know, after Dale passed away, I just felt so empty, you know. When he was born, you know, I felt like I could feel again. It was like holding your breath for 2 years and then finally being able to take a breath was what it felt like to have my son. I want to be a mom that's involved. I want to be there for my kids. I want to be at their baseball games. I want to be there, you know? So I decided to take a part-time job, which I actually really love, so that I can drop off my son every day and pick him up every day from school. And my daughter only has to go to daycare part-time, and I can still take care of them and still be there with them. I've been my son's baseball coach since he was 4 years old, and he begs me every year to be his coach. Hopefully I'm gonna hold on to that as long as I can, because I know it's not gonna last forever, but being a mom is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I am a single mom, and it is tough, but it is worth it. Lived a lot of life in my 28 years, but still got lots more to live.
We want to thank Regina for sharing Dale's story and for sharing her own. We'd like to thank Gary Gruner Chevrolet Buick GMC for sponsoring War Stories and giving us the time and resources to tell the stories of Central Oregon war veterans every Monday night on Central Oregon Daily at 6 o'clock on KOHD ABC and 7 o'clock on KBNZ CBS. We'll be right back.